Hi, it's Mercedes, and we're going to learn how to make the past tense of the verb to have, another one of our very important verbs in English. Okay, and remember, the time in the past is when we're talking about things like yesterday, or last week, or 2 months ago, or a year that has passed, 2020, 2000. Okay, so we're talking about times that have passed. Last week, 2 months ago, 1980. So, as we've done with the verb to be, we're going to look at the present tense of the verb to have. Okay, so we've done this before. Let's just have a look at it again. I have, you have, he has, she has, it has, we have, and they have. We look at it in the positive and then in the negative. I don't have, you don't have, he doesn't have, she doesn't have, it doesn't have, we don't have, they don't have. Now remember, sometimes when we're making the verb to have, we need to use the verb do to help us make the negative, do or don't, do or doesn't, and we need to use the verb do to help us make the question. For the questions, do I have? Do you have? Does he have? Does she have? Does it have? Do we have? And do they have? Now we've learnt this present tense of the verb to have, but we want to talk about the verb in the past tense. So the past tense of the verb to have is quite easy because really it's just one word, and it's the same for all of them. I had, and it doesn't change. It's the same for all of them. I had, you had, he had, she had, it had, we had, they had. And in the negative, just like we have done before, instead of I don't have, the present, we have I didn't have. And what we're doing here is we're not changing the verb, we are changing the negative. So remember, in our present it was I don't have, and in our past it's I didn't have. And it's the same again for all of them. I didn't have, you didn't have, he didn't have, she didn't have, it didn't have, we didn't have, they didn't have. So here we have had in the positive, negative, in the positive of the past, and in the negative, didn't have. We're having to use the verb do in its past form to make a negative. Okay. And for our questions, we're going to again use the verb do, but in its past. Did I have? And it's the same. Did you have? Did he have? Did she have? Did it have? Did we have? And did they have? So this is the verb to have, which becomes had in the past. Had all the way through the positive, didn't have all the way through the negative, and the question did, whether it's I, you, he, she, it, we, or they, have. So here's some examples. I had an old car. You had a banana. He had short hair. She had some money. It had 4 legs. We had a coffee. They had dinner. All of these things are things that we're talking about in the past. And if we want to say negative, I didn't have a new car. You didn't have an apple. He didn't have long hair. She didn't have any money. It didn't have 2 legs. We didn't have tea. They didn't have lunch. And that's how to make the past tense of the verb to have, which then becomes had.